All right. Welcome back to the Green Logbook. See what I got going on here. All right. Mics are good. Headphones good. Everything's looking all right. All right. Yeah. Good morning to everyone out there. Welcome to the Green Logbooks, Veterans and Coffee. I got my damn coffee somewhere around here. Good to share it with you all. So, see what we got going on here. A lot of stuff has been happening in the last, probably the last few weeks. There's been a lot of movement. There's been a lot of scheduling, a lot of calendar stuff, some upcoming flights, some upcoming events taking part. So pretty happy about that. 2026 is looking good so far. It's looking good. Got a lot of reading, a lot of writing done. Hopefully everybody out there is doing the same. Yeah, let me here. Comments are open. Let me see what I got going on here. Let me open this thing up here. Let me add this. If you're on the line, let me see. I'll share this with you all. If you want to jump on the live stream and let me know how things are going with you so far in the year, what you got going on, what you got planned, feel free to jump on the live stream. Jump on the live stream. There you go. Easy day. So yeah, whole lot of stuff going on, and I came across this article. Pretty interesting, actually. Let me share it up on the screen here. Where is it? Here we go. Share screen. Want to get your take on all this because I found it pretty interesting. Gosh, where is it? I'll come up with it. Here it is. AMSIS. Okay, so this one. This is on Military Times. Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. Let me switch this around. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. There we go. How's that? So yeah, Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. And I'm curious what you all think about that. So let me read some of it here. Catholic Archbishop responsible for U.S. military personnel said it is morally acceptable for service members to disobey an order if it is against their own conscience, as the Trump administration weighs possible troop deployments to Minneapolis and the use of force to seize Greenland. This gentleman here, Archbishop, serves as the Archbishop for the military services since 2007. So Timothy Brolio is his name. Army restarts religious support staff hiring following criticism. That's just another. Thing from January 8th. Anyhow, this is the one I'm looking at right here. Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. Want to get your take on that? Because, yes, I mean, can troops, can service members defy orders, say no to the orders? Technically, they can. Anybody can do whatever they want. It's just a matter of reaping the consequences that come along with that, right? If you serve in the military, here, let me change this view. If you serve in the military, if you're active duty, you're shit. We've even seen it where you're retired and you are subject to the UCMJ. We recently saw that. So even with this, if you're active duty and you say no to appropriate orders, right, to follow appropriate orders, then you have to reap the consequences. And that comes with the UCMJ article, whatever, 92, 134, whatever it might be. So I'm curious to know. I mean, there has to be a lot of judge advocates involved in this. I'm curious to see what the services do with their the legal processing of all this. But I mean, this thing just came out yesterday. Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. And this guy is not just any archbishop. This guy is, he serves as the archbishop for the military services since 2007. And this is on Military Times. Says it would be very difficult for a soldier or a Marine or a sailor to, by himself, disobey an order, but strictly speaking, he or she would be within the realm of their own conscience. It would be morally acceptable to disobey that order, he said. He went on to note, however, that such an isolated act of conscience would be perhaps putting that individual in an untenable situation. And that's my concern. And those of you who are just joining, I'm just covering this stuff here. This archbishop, this is on Military Times. This archbishop mentions that it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. We've seen it where, you know, what the repercussions of all that stuff is. That you know, you defy the orders. You're subject to the UCMJ if you're active duty. Hell, even if you're retired, we've seen it recently that you're still subject to the UCMJ. So let's see here. He went on to note, however, that such an isolated act of conscience would be perhaps putting that individual in an untenable situation, and that's my concern. So, yes, that's that's the UCMJ piece that we're talking about. So that's yeah, it's kind of a slippery slope there because you know I've worked in military justice in the military for while I was active duty for 20 years. I've done investigations. I've seen the best of the Marine Corps and the Navy. I've seen the worst of the Marine Corps and the Navy. I've seen some very concerning situations, some very ugly situations, and a lot of them, you know, these folks are not obeying orders or regulations, and that comes with little Article 92 dangling over their head, and they usually get charged with that. So I see where this guy's coming from, where this archbishop is coming from. Oh, let me share that back on the screen here. At stage, I see where this guy's coming from. This is again, this is on Military Times. Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. I see where he's coming from. Yes, I mean technically you can, but you know you also have to understand that there are consequences that come along with that. So that's just something I was reading. I do. I research all this stuff. I read this stuff. I mean, it's part of my day. I have it blocked out on my calendar to do some research and writing. So part of my day. Um, but yeah, that was entertaining and fun to watch and fun to read. So curious what folks think about that out there, about this guy saying it's morally acceptable for that. So comments are open. If you want to jump on the live stream, please feel free to jump on. Not an issue. We'll bring you up here. I got my coffee. I got my I don't know, my water, coffee, all that good stuff. Just a place to for fellow veterans to come together, talk about what's going on in life, talk about what they have going on today, this week. Maybe something going on that I don't know. You just want to talk to another veteran about. I know we got gentleman Boston Rob, who's one of the viewers of the channel, just recently starting a new job this week. So congratulations to him. You may be watching. I don't know. I know you can't jump on the live stream, Rob, if you watch it, but that's awesome, man. I'm proud of you and happy for you that you're starting off this new job here. This I think on Monday you started off, so that's very cool. Awesome. If you haven't already done so, and if you're tracking like Congress.gov stuff, like legislation, or if you have not tracked, should I say, if you're not tracking Congress.gov legislation, what I would say is if you go to the website, you know, follow those pieces of legislation. This morning, I got an email from Congress.gov saying that I thought it was going to be something like outstanding, like, oh, they pushed through this piece of legislation, they pushed through this law, but uh, it's not the case. They just added another member onto one of the pieces of legislation, which is fine. Something's moving. That was for the oh gosh, the Briley Act. I'll get you the information here. The Where's this thing at? Sherry Briley Act. I got so many damn emails. I can't even. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. I'll find it. No worries. Anyhow, yeah. So sign up for those updates on Congress.gov if you want updates on your legislation. Good stuff to have. Good stuff to have. Let me see. Folks who are joining us in the chat, in the comments or whatever, where are you joining from? I just see a number of people that are on the chat. I don't see who's where everybody's from. Where are you joining us from? Let me see. So a lot of stuff. So yesterday I put out a video on Chapter 35 and how it can lower disability payments. Right. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Just go on my channel and check out the video on there. Good amount of views so far. That's awesome. I'm glad that people are getting the information. Stuff that I didn't realize. You know. Oh, here we go, Brian. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the channel, bud. Stuff that I didn't realize until I started kind of uncovering and doing the research, right? Because if you don't know, you don't know. And specifically, Chapter 35, that's the dependence education and assistance, which gives your dependent a certain stipend. Should you choose or they choose to want to use that, once you begin using that, I believe you have to be 100% VA service connected. I say that because I hate the word VA disabled. I've used it. I don't like it. Um, there's a certain stigma that comes along with the word disabled and retired. I've talked about it a lot on this channel. I don't like those words because it kind of beats you down a little bit, makes you feel like you're not worthy, that you're not a human, a person, right? That you can't function correctly. But that's not the case. A lot of us have those disabilities and all that, and those service connected injuries, and we can still function for the most part. So this one here is if you or your child dependent 18 plus chooses to use their Chapter 35, then that reduces your VA disability or VA service connection pay, VA compensation pay that you get. Uh, so that's something I didn't realize until I started kind of peeling back the onion and uncovering all this stuff. Because we were looking at that as I was doing the research, and I got a lot of questions about it. Hey, and coming across Reddit and things like that. What happens if we use this? What happens if we use that? And then I saw that, hey, $352.45 of your 2025/2026 amount for 18 and over, 18 and over dependent using Chapter 35, or excuse me, 18 and over in a qualifying school program that your 100% VA disabled folks are getting paid for your 18 and over dependent. That goes away should your 18 and over dependent opt into Chapter 35, which essentially you're making a trade-off, right? You get the 1574 for full time for Chapter 35, and you give up the 352.45, $352.45 from your VA compensation every month. The thing that a lot of folks did not know is that once you and your kid opt into that Chapter 35, you can never, ever add them back. I mean, it says it in that form. If you watch my video, it says it in that form on there. You cannot add them back. It's irrevocable. You cannot add them back to as a dependent for compensation. They can be your dependent. You're just not going to get paid for them. So that's something you really got to look at. If your kid's not looking to use Chapter 35, then they continue receiving that pay if you're 100% VA disabled. Yeah. But I mean, it's there. It's a good trade-off, I think, if your kid's gonna be using Chapter 35. So, hey, going to the comments real quick. Army Grunt, U.S. Army Grunt, welcome to the channel, bud. Good to see you. I like that, Mr. Green Logbook. I go on these channels and, I've been invited to speak on some of the channels when they're doing the live stream and stuff, and they don't know what to call me because my name is not Vic. It's not on there, right? So they call me, "Hey, Green Logbook, you're up, Green Logbook." So that I suppose that's my name now, Mr. Green Logbook. Yeah, Brian Hahn says, "Yeah, gotta be 100% PNT." That's correct, yep. 100% BNT. I think, there's, gosh, MIA, there has to be something regarding, uh, let's see what I got here. Yeah, I don't have the exact stuff that you need to be, but 100% VA disabled, or you need to have that missing in action, I think POW status, and something else. I can't recall what it was. Josh C, PNW, service connected medical benefits. Yes. Awesome. So yeah, that was a fun video to make. It's getting some views. It's doing pretty well. Um, but a lot of folks, I mean, I'm getting some comments on here that, well, this I'll just read it out here really quick. This gentleman wrote, I say gentleman, I don't know if it's a gentleman or whoever, it says the comment is VA disability pay for you and your spouse and other kids under 18 is unaffected. That is correct. The child over 18 should no longer qualify as a dependent anyway. So if you are getting that money, then yes, of course, there is an overpayment issue. You should not you should not have been collecting that money to begin with. Chapter 35 goes to the 18 and over kid has a separate payment. That's correct. They are no longer by age to be considered a dependent either way. So I'm unsure what you mean when you say it's chapter 30. When you say it, chapter 35 reduces VA disability pay. No, it doesn't, unless you were erroneously collecting money for an 18-year-old, which you shouldn't be, and that would create overpayment. So there is, I replied to his comment, respectfully, and I mentioned, yes, you are correct in the spouse and kids under 18 piece. However, the remainder is incorrect. Look at the VA payment table, and it's 2 minutes and 23 seconds into the video I posted, or the link in the description. Okay, the whole VA table that tells you exactly how much you're going to get paid. If a veteran has a dependent child that's 18 to 23 years old and they're in a qualifying school program, the veteran will be paid, well, as long as they're 100% right, will be paid $352.45 per month. That's in 2026 right now, to their VA disability compensation for having that child on as a dependent. Once Chapter 35 is initiated for that 18 plus dependent child, that portion, that $352.45 of VA compensation stops. So once the Chapter 35 payment is initiated, the veteran's VA compensation payment is reduced $352.45 per the non-duplication rule, because you can't receive both of them. You can't get Chapter 35 and the VA payment compensation. That's where I was in the wrong. I thought, before I started doing all this research, I thought, okay, cool, my kid's gonna get Chapter 35, and whatever, then continue receiving the other amount. Cool. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Let me see. Brian Hahn says there's another qualifying category, but 100% PNT is the most common. I dropped the link to the VA site for more info. I appreciate that, man. Let me see. I'm streaming to the Green Logbook and Military Retirement Podcast, so I'm not sure where you dropped the link to. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. I don't know, am I the only one? I've got like maybe 30 windows or tabs open on my screen here. I gotta I gotta stop that stuff. Uh, there we go. So earlier when I started the video, I started talking about this dude, which is it's pretty interesting, right? It's I'll put it up here. This Archbishop says it's morally acceptable for troops to defy orders. This was released on January 20th. So this is on Military Times. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts, everybody in the comments. It says that the Catholic Archbishop responsible for U.S. military personnel said it is morally acceptable for service members to disobey an order if it is against their own conscience. Let's see, his name is Timothy Rolio, who has served as the Archbishop for military service since 2007, admitted in a BBC interview on Sunday that he was worried about the troops in his pastoral care because they would be put in a situation where they're being ordered to do something which is morally questionable. Then he goes on to say it would be very difficult for a soldier or a Marine or a sailor to, by himself, disobey an order. But strictly speaking, he or she would be within the realm of their own conscience. It would be morally acceptable to disobey that order, he said. He went on to note, however, that such an isolated act of conscience would be perhaps putting that individual in an untenable situation. And that's my concern. Yeah, yeah, it would be. It would be. So the thing with this, and having worked like military justice for many, many years, like 2 decades, um, and as we've all seen here in recent events, I'm sure that people have eyes and ears and they can see what's happening. Um, even if you're retired, you're still subject to the UCMJ. We've seen that. I mean, if you're active duty, you're 100%, you 100% fall under the UCMJ. So though it may be morally acceptable, or it may be against their own conscience, if it is a lawful order or regulation and they don't do it, well, they have to live with the consequences there, which is most likely in Article 92, failure to obey an order or regulation, or something to that effect. Article 134, which is, the catch-all article, as we've seen. So you can put anything under Article 134, most anything. So that's I got to do some further reading. I'm going to reach out to this gentleman here and see if we can talk a little bit more um, about what he's saying, because I mean that kind of puts folks in a bad spot, saying that, hey, if it's against your conscience, you can do that. Well, I mean, that kind of opens up to a lot of lawful or, legal issues for these service members. But again, I get where you're coming from. You can, if it's against your conscience, you don't have to do it, but understand that there's consequences. That's the way it works. 6060 Love, welcome to the Green Logbook. Oh, I like that. The GLB family. I like that. That's a new one. Haven't heard that one before. Yeah, so I'll share it here in the comments here. If anybody wants to jump on the live stream, tell me how everything's going, how their life is going, how the day is going, the week is going. Maybe you had some successes, some failures. Maybe you want to talk about it. Maybe you want to just share what you got on your mind. Feel free to come on the podcast here. Jump the live stream. Let me throw this up on there. As as normal, I know most of us on here are veterans, but just for the sake of the YouTube thing or whatever the algorithm, just keeping the cursing to a minimum, and don't really want to get into too much politics or politics at all, because that never ends up well. So feel free to come on the live stream and tell me what you got going on. Shout out to everybody out there doing the thing and joining the Green Logbook. You may hear some stuff in the background. They're doing some kind of construction work in the neighbor's house, so You may hear a little bit of scraping or whatever it is back there. I mean, I can hear it, and I got this headphone on. I'm just scrolling around Military Times. This thing is so I took a break a while back, and I completely got off the internet, got off the news, all that stuff online, and then, just very minimally. And it felt good. It was a breath of fresh air to do that. Just focused on family and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to do that since I'm here. I do a lot of work from home, and then, kids are off at school, wife is out at work, and just got to figure out what's going on. But took a step back, went outside, drove around, went and did things outside of just kind of sitting here. So that was fun. Just had somebody on the live stream there in the back room. I don't know who it was. Well, if that was you, feel free to come back on because yeah, the thing is with all this, the reason why I took a break off that, and I probably should have put something out there like taking a break because I did get a few like emails asking if everything was okay, and I'm glad. Thank you all for reaching out. Yeah, everything was fine. Just had to take a break. So there is a lot of news. It seems like every day is something new, right? There's a lot of news. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, and I don't think that like the human brain is made to ingest and process so much information coming at you at such a rate, such a cyclic rate, if you will. So I was jumping from here to there because I do a lot of research for the channel, right? I want to read. I go on again Congress.gov. I read a lot about legislation, and then that prompts me to open a news website to read more about it. And then I start going down this rabbit hole of, opening up different news channels. Okay, let's see what CNN has. Let's see what Fox News has. Let's see what BBC or, all these other channels have. And man, it became overwhelming really quick, and I'm up till late sometimes writing stuff down, doing some research, and it didn't work out well for anyone. So I took a step back from it. I'm like, all right, well, this is getting a little overwhelming. It's becoming my head's starting to hurt a little bit. Take a step back, concentrate on myself, go out for a walk, go do a workout, do whatever I need to do. Uh, and then just come to center again, right? Come to center again. So it's exactly what I did. So thank you all for reaching out about that. But I will tell you, I'm completely fine because I know I was not doing the live streams or anything like that for quite some time. Yeah, and excuse me, 66T love. Yep, more of us need to practice self care. 1000%. Yes, yes. That I didn't start practicing that until like almost recently because it was always like the mission: go, 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 go for like 2 decades in uniform. Just go. And I never really felt like I needed it. And I had my trusty green logbook at my side, and that's all I needed really. But yeah, self care is huge, and it doesn't get talked about enough, or maybe it does, but it doesn't get acted on enough. So there's also I'm kind of excited because I just text this guy and waiting to hear back. So I connected with this dude, and he's this. I think I brought him up on the channel a few days ago or weeks ago or something. This retired Navy SEAL guy who is running for the VFW commander of California, and this gentleman is looking to revamp the VFW across the states. And I'm really excited to talk to him. He sent me his number. I sent him a text here. I'm just gonna wait to hear back a little bit. Go out and do some interviews with him and talk to him face to face. And because I'm on board with what he's doing. I'm on board with this. So this guy is turning VFWs into holistic wellness centers, right? So and I'm sure he's doing a lot more than that, but from what I read online, he's turning this into like a wellness center. So as we know it right now, I don't know who in the comments is a member of their VFW. Like I go to my VFW every so often, the one nearest me, and I've been to a couple of other ones. Like when I travel around, I tend to stick my head into a VFW or an American Legion or something, and just to say hey. But everything at the VFW, from my perspective, is surrounded by the bar. And talking to the lady that runs the VFW, at least the bar area, they depend on bar money or bar uh, income, I suppose, to fund that VFW. And I don't go to the VFW often because of that, because I'm not a drinker. Unless it's like a coffee thing, I'll drink this all day. But and I probably shouldn't. However, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not. I I've never had an issue with it. I just don't. Never been a big drinker myself. Kind of grew up around that, and I think that's kind of like where I didn't want to be in that realm of that. So I think with that was more like a Vietnam era older veteran type of deal, right? Going to the VFW, build camaraderie around drinking and conversation, whatever. Times have changed. Times have definitely changed, and I don't. I when I do go to the VFW, I'm probably the youngest one there, and that's saying something. I'm 42 years old. That's saying something. Um, a lot of these folks are a lot older. It's a different era thing. I don't see many GWAT OIF veterans in the BFW unless it's for like some kind of event. And I'm sure every VFW is different. I'm sure there's folks who take who love that type of camaraderie, talking to the older folks and all that. But it ain't me. So I like what this guy's doing. He's making it into like more wellness center type area, where it's not revolving around the bar or the drinking culture. Um, right now, I think a lot of veterans in this GWAT era want to connect on a deeper level than just over a beer. So I just that's probably why I don't frequent too many of those beer club things either. I just if it was like a coffee club, sure, I'm all down for a coffee club all day, but I just I can't do it. Can't do it. So I'm interested in talking to this gentleman. Again, he's a retired Navy SEAL. Um, Seems like a cool dude, right? Connected with him. Just shot him a text here real quick to see if he wants to meet up sometime this week or next week, and talk about what he's got going on with the VFW, because he's got some great plans. It sounds like, and I'm definitely curious about what he's got going on and how it's going to change. And if he needs my assistance, I'm there. I'm there to assist. Sergeant Stacking, what's going on, dude? So, hey, Sergeant Stacking, you do the. I went on your site, man. You do something with like silver. I don't know what exactly it is. Like you mold silver. Interesting stuff. It really is. I saw one with like an Iwo Jima flag raising silver. I don't know if it was a medallion. I can't recall, but interesting stuff, man. I'm curious about what that is about and like where that's going, like how you came up with that. Very cool. Let me see. I think I put it up. Yeah, I did put it up already. Let me throw this up for anybody who wants to jump on the live stream. Please feel free. Uh, jump on the live stream. Bam, sis. Here we go. There's a link. Anybody who wants to jump on the live stream, let me know how things are going. Let me know if you got any successes or failures that have happened this week. Anything going on next week? I will tell you, I will be actually. Let me see what my calendar is looking like. Let me see if it coincides with the live streams. Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Anyhow, I will be doing a live stream next week. I'll be out of pocket, but that doesn't mean I can't live stream. I'll be doing a live stream from uh, a new location. I won't share too much of it because it'll kind of give it away, but new location. I'll be heading out to visiting a different state, going out and checking out this location, staying somewhere that I never thought I'd be able to stay. And I was invited there by a fellow veteran, and I'm so excited to go. I'm so excited to go. I cannot wait to live stream, and I cannot wait to make the video when I get out there because it's going to be an incredible adventure. Sergeant Stacking says, "Yes, sir. I melt silver rounds and bars and sand cast different molds. I focus more on military stuff, and I sell to my followers." That's awesome, dude. You got some good stuff out there, man. Sergeant Stacking. Like, where do you get the ideas from for this silver melting or molding? Or is it people want something like how if somebody wants something custom, like do you actually make the mold? Yeah, here we go. Okay. So I was doing some work on Chat GPT yesterday, and I use Chat GPT to give me outlines, to give me ideas. I don't want it to give me all the answers because then I lose all the critical thinking skills I have up here. But I like to use it as an addition to my thinking, like to bounce ideas off of. So got a few things, and um, started doing a deep dive on storytelling because I think that is huge. If anybody out there wants to have like an effective YouTube channel, you got to learn storytelling. And I am by no means like I'm still an amateur when it comes to this stuff. I know how to tell a story. I just need to learn how to do like those the important parts and hit those points, like locations and actions and thoughts and emotions and the whole dialogue piece. So I started doing a deep dive between a bunch of videos. I went to YouTube University and I started watching a bunch of videos on there on storytelling and different steps and how to involve the audience in your story. And I bounced those things off of Chat GPT just to kind of get an idea of how to do it. So that was kind of a big research piece that I've been doing in the last few days, just kind of sitting here and taking a whole lot of notes. Let me see. Josh CPNW says, I would love to hear more about what he's got going on. Are we talking about Sergeant Stacking? Let's see. Sergeant Stacking says, I'll 3D print whatever people want for the most part and use those prints to cast in the sand. Start doing this 4 or 5 years ago, soon after I started investing in precious metals. Awesome. All right, we got Brian, aka Gunny. What's going on, man? Oh, you might be muted, man. Let's see. I can see your mouth moving.
You see my mouth moving, but nothing.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
So got to be smarter than the computer, right? How you
Days
been?
these days is hard, man.
I know, I know. Technology is always evolving.
It is, man. It is for the better or for the worst. I don't know yet. I can't tell.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
AI
tell.
is going to replace everything, right? Even us old
Well,
Marines, grumbling
yeah.
about things.
Unless you know how to work it, man. Unless you know how to work it.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
everything's good on my front. So I
Good.
was
Good,
actually
man.
gonna drop in and talk earlier. Then my kid called me out of the blue, so I was like, "Oh, got to talk to the kid first. Family first, always."
Yeah. I had the same thing. I was supposed to start this thing at 9:30, and I
Uh huh.
started it closer to 10. I was
Yeah.
out walking the dog, and I'm like, okay, I should be making it back in time. And then
Mm-hmm.
one of the old ladies at the end of the street, she was having trouble with her trash cans. So I'm like, okay, like getting them over the curb. I guess her son does it for her, and he had already left. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let me help this lady out. And she's like asking me about, you know, these people are talkers sometimes.
Sure.
So I
Sure.
entertained that for a little bit. And then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
mid sentence had to cut it off. I'm like, hey, I got Sergeant Stacking waiting for me. Let me give me I'm sorry. I gotta cut it
Yeah.
short.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, my daughter is actually using that chapter 35 stuff. She's
Excellent,
up.
man.
Yeah, she's up at UC Santa Cruz, so
Yeah.
really really proud of her. So, and she's still in her first year. She's a freshman, but she's doing good up there.
Yeah.
And
No, that's awesome, dude. It's
yeah,
definitely a good piece of gear, man. That chapter 35.
it is. It is. It's it takes a little bit of the burden off of you. People
Hmm.
are always worried about education costs and tuition's not getting any cheaper. Room and board's not getting any cheaper. So
That's right.
anything you can kind of do to get a discount on that, and you know not everybody can get a full ride scholarship. So
That's right. Yeah. And
yeah.
it's an incredible feature, an incredible benefit because each one of your dependents can get
Hmm.
that as long as they're going full time, right?
Yeah.
If you got more than one kid, bam, they got it. Each one of them
Yeah.
has their own thing. And
Now
if your
they
spouse uses it, they don't
yeah.
take away your VA disability
No, no,
compensation,
no.
that piece.
And I just also want to point out they don't have to go full time,
Hmm.
but to get the full rate, they
Yeah,
have to go full time.
that's right.
So they can go one class, two class, whatever, and still get a little something.
Yeah,
Because my wife actually just put in for chapter 35.
excellent.
She's going to work on her MBA,
Yeah.
and she's going to do it one class at a time through online university.
Hmm. Excellent,
So
dude. Yeah,
yeah, so she
it's a
won't
good
get the
piece of
full
gear.
amount, but she gets a little something. So I kind
Yeah,
of look
why
at
not,
it
right?
like a coupon. She gets a nice discount.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
I love that, dude. You're using it. I mean, you got the benefits, man. You earned it. All the
Yep.
folks out there, most of the folks out there who rate it, who at least rate the chapter 35, that's an earned benefit.
Yeah.
Use
Oh
this
yeah.
stuff, because if you don't
Yeah.
use it, just like we know, I mean, if you ever take the little blue pill, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yep. And you and me, like we both kicked around the same dirt. We both freaking bled the blood, bled the blood and yeah, we earned it. So definitely
Yeah,
use
yeah,
that stuff. And I'm
yeah.
very, very, very thankful and happy to be able to pass it down to my wife and kids.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah,
On
you
it
got to get them going on that.
on a personal note and a very controversial one. So I just got some new shoes. I got some Hokas for the first time. So
Some
good
go
quality
fasters. Look at
shoes.
you, man.
I know, I know. So yeah, when I was active duty, my kind of standard running shoe was Brooks, and
Hmm.
Brooks, seemed to make a good shoe, and I could, run with those pretty good. But now I wanted something like a more stable shoe, just
Yeah,
for walking. And went out about a week ago and got a pair of Hokas for the first time, and they
yeah.
are pretty comfy.
Yeah, they're good shoes, man. The thing with Hoka's is they've got a huge sole, like
Hmm.
the foam, right? So
A lot of
it's
cushion.
yeah, it's a lot of cushion, right? So dare I say too much cushion, at least for me,
Hey,
right? So I'm very partial to I have two pairs of ultras, which are
uh-huh.
minimal. They're
Okay.
cushy, they're minimal, but they're for a wide foot, right? So it
Okay.
gives me a lot more room. So I
Yeah.
had some Adidas running shoes. And
Hmm.
I don't know, I don't even know if they were running shoes. I mean, they were like expensive, like running shoes, right? So, and I worn them, but now when I wear them after wearing my ultras,
Hmm.
it feels like my foot is being like choked in
Yeah.
the shoe. So
Yeah. Those shoes have a really wide toe box, which,
that's good. That's good. I just
I
can't
mean,
get past
most of the
the
time I'm
huge
bumming
foam.
around in. Yeah, but most of the time I'm bumming around in flip flops, anyways.
Yep.
But if I'm going to be walking any distance, I like to have some kind of tennis shoe on. So,
My I made a mistake one time, and it was I laugh at it now. I wasn't laughing at it back then. So when I went to Italy at one point, and I was wearing these boat shoes. This was
hmm.
years ago when they were like really popular.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't wear boat shoes on cobblestone streets like in Florence. Fucking breaking my ankles, dude. Like
Oh,
terrible, terrible.
yeah, yeah. There's no support in those things, no arches, no nothing, and then yeah,
Yeah,
cobblestone streets are already kind of a trip
terrible.
hazard.
Yeah, yeah. So but that's good, man. I'm glad you got some new Go Fasters. I saw that they're
Yeah,
carrying Hokas at Costco now. I was at Costco
really.
not too long ago. Yeah,
I
they're
did not
carrying
know
those.
that.
Select
Yeah,
locations only.
nice, nice. Well, I went to a little like shoe shop, had a lot of different brands. It was up in
Hmm.
like the Mission Hills, Hillcrest area, and
Hmm.
anyways, yeah, it was a great little place. So, I kind of like the personal service. If I'm gonna
Yeah.
be dropping some money on shoes, I want somebody to bring out a bunch of different pairs so I can try them on, figure out which one's the best.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Get
Yeah.
the Al Bundy special.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not sitting in the aisleway of Costco getting hit by old ladies with shopping carts.
Right. Yeah. There's a place out here called gosh, I think it's off the 163. It's called Runner's Warehouse. It's this big warehouse. They usually
Are
have
you
like an
talking about
inflatable shoe.
Roadrunner?
Roadrunner. There you go.
Yeah, Roadrunner.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to Miramar. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's
yeah.
it's I see it every so often when I'm driving down that road. And
Hmm.
I went in there at one point. I've been around that area because they have an REI around there too.
Yeah.
Um, but I went in there at one point, and I almost felt like it was like a car salesman place. Like I walked in, and they're like, "Yeah, hold on a second. We'll assign you to a salesperson."
Yeah.
And it almost felt like you had to buy something because they made me go on the treadmill.
Hmm.
They filmed me running to get
Yeah.
like my stride and how I
Yeah.
step and all that stuff, which was cool. I got to see all that.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it's almost like I don't want to buy a pair of shoes here right now because I mean they're a little bit more expensive than anywhere else for the same shoe that you can get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
they
I
do
left
have a
wearing a
huge selection. I will
they
say
do
their
yeah
their selection is probably the best in the area. But I did buy my last pair of shoes there, and I bought
yeah
shoes there before, and I'm just laughing. It is like a total assembly line.
it is
Oh,
it
let's
is
do all these computer measurements. Let's make sure that's good, and then
yeah
okay, we'll fit you in a couple shoes. Oh, do you want the custom insoles? Yeah, we can mold those to your feet. Oh, how about a pair of socks to go with those shoes? You know,
yeah. Before you know it,
it's
your
just,
hands are full of shit.
I know, yeah, yeah. Like $1,000 later, you're like, what did I just do? I
Yeah.
think I just signed my firstborn away.
So what they have in the back though, I did buy some Sauconys or
Yeah, yeah,
Sauconys. I don't even know how you say the name, but
yeah, yeah,
I did
yeah.
buy a pair of those years ago because in the back of the warehouse they have a
The
used
returns.
area.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
returns.
returns are used. So I
Yep.
found some brand new ones for
Hmm.
like half the price. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking these. The
Yeah.
ones inside were, yeah, they were 140. I think I got those for like $80.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
definitely a
they
good deal
have a
back there.
deal like if you're a Roadrunner member, you can return your shoes. I forget what the time period is. Let's say like 90 days or 120 days,
Mhm.
and no questions asked, return them. Well, what they'll do a lot of times then is just take them and put them in the back and sell them to somebody else, and I mean they're upfront. They say they're used.
Yeah,
So it's not like they're doing anything shady, but yeah, that's one of
right,
the
right.
perks of the membership. And the membership is another way they get you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
is. It is. Like I
yeah.
have an REI membership, but I think
Uh-huh.
it's like a one time, like for a lifetime. I think you pay, forgot what it
Hmm.
was, like $50. I can't remember. And it's like a lifetime
Yeah.
membership. And then however much you spend there, and once you hit a certain amount, they send you money back or something. I can't recall.
Yeah. I'm
That one
pretty
was pretty good.
sure Roadrunner is like an annual thing. Like my
Yeah.
wife had it for a little bit, and then we were like, we're not using this enough to make it worthwhile. So,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
I'm not a fan of the subscriptions, man. I'll be honest.
no,
Like that.
no, they add up real quick. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been kind of looking through our streaming services and figuring out, hey, are we even using this? Like, do we
At that
justify
point,
this?
just get cable. Just get like DirecTV
Yeah.
cable or whatever it is,
Well,
Spectrum, Cox, whatever you got.
I read something that was kind of funny. It was like, um, all the reasons why people got away from cable, and went to streaming
Mhm.
services. Now the streaming services are essentially becoming like cable. So people are
Yeah.
like, well, fine, I'll just go back to cable then. Why do I need all these services?
Yeah. You want to
You
watch
know,
football, you got to go on CBS, you got to go ABC, you got to go all over the place. Amazon has one,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
kind of a
You
pain.
know, Paramount Plus, Peacock,
Yeah.
whatever, all these different things. But then, like, one of the big reasons why people went to streaming it was no commercials, and now they bring back all the commercials. And it's
Now,
like,
half the
okay,
shit I
well,
watch has commercials, dude.
yeah, so it's like, what are we doing here? You know,
Yeah.
and it almost like just keeps going in cycles.
Yeah. You can get, they have those little Fire Sticks, Amazon Fire Sticks with the
Hmm.
software already in them.
Yeah.
And you can watch different things like any UFC fight, boxing match, or anything like that.
Hmm.
You just stream it on there. I
Yeah.
may or may not have one sitting somewhere, may or may not, to watch every UFC fight. So
Yeah, there's always ways around it, but a lot of times, like I remember back in the day, like everybody would talk about pirated movies and torrent sites, and I'm like, I'm not messing with any of that stuff. Like, I'm gonna
yeah, go
get,
to LimeWire or something,
yeah,
Napster.
whatever. Like, remember Napster downloading all
Napster.
the
Yeah,
free music, and I'm like, no, I'm not messing with any of those sites because ultimately I'll probably get some weird viruses on my computer, or
yeah. I had a ton
somebody's
of those.
gonna pirate my stuff, hack my computer and get all my private data out there. I'm like, no. I'm
Yeah,
like, if I really
there's
want
those
it,
times with
yeah.
Napster. You would download the file and you
Hmm.
go to open it up, an
Yeah.
audio file, and it would be like Bill Clinton's voice.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that? You remember that?
Not exactly, but like I said, I knew of Napster, but I never played with it. Like I wasn't gonna get on there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Dude. Navy cop says I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of any current torrent sites for movies
Exactly. Yeah,
and
that's
TV
that
shows
very good
mentioned for.
answer, Navy cop.
Yeah, very good. Never confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
That
But
reminds me of when confirm nor deny when I was living in the barracks. When gosh, it was maybe 2005 over in Camp Pendleton, and we got this new join guy. I'll never forget this dude because this dude was kind of weird, right?
mhm.
Short dude, and kind of weird. And we Friday nights at the barracks, everybody, it's just doors. Everybody's doors are open. just popping open the beer if you're of age, and it was just fun time. People had music going, or people in the courtyard hanging out.
Down
Fun time.
in the 22 area.
Yeah, the 22 area. Yep, right there.
Good old Deuce Deuce.
Yeah, the double deuce, right? And I offered this one guy a beer, the new joint. I'm like, hey man, you want a beer? And he looks at me in a very robotic way. He's like, I can neither confirm nor deny that. And I'm like, bitch, then just fucking say no, and I'll just give my beer to somebody else.
Yeah.
That leaves me at zero,
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, dude, you want a beer or not? Are you of age or not? It's not a top secret question that I'm asking you.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Fast Vets Act. Yeah, Navy cop. Thank you for that. I'm looking it up right now. There you go. Became law. I love that. Fast Vets Act establishes conditions under which a veteran's individualized vocational rehab plan must be redeveloped. Okay. Awesome. I'll be
What's
putting a
that
video
one about?
on that.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah. So it says, let me see. All right. So VRNE. So if your rating changes, say like you go from 50 to 100% or whatever VA disability rating, you're not stuck with one the same VRNE plan. Your ratings change, potential service connected disabilities. I hate the word, but disabilities can change.
Yeah.
So you can change your plan if you want to, if you need to.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that makes sense. So service connection changes, whatever your circumstances change.
So let me write that one down because I'll be doing a follow-up video here.
Okay.
On that, and then also the other thing that I had brought it up earlier here, and it was fun. It's a fun read, right? But where the hell is it? That's not.
I was going to say, kind of a side note on my VNRE. I'm still waiting around. I haven't been contacted by anyone, so I imagine they're backlogged. But
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the VRNE thing. I've been trying to get a hold of my counselor at the school, right? Not at the VRNE. My VRNE guy is good. The counselor at the school that I'm going through left 3 voicemails, 5 emails, 0 answers. Come to find out the dude doesn't work there anymore. Never put him out of office. Never put him out of office or anything. I'm like, I'm fucking emailing air, dude. Like nothing, nobody. And
nobody loves me anymore.
Yeah. Nobody's there on the receiving end. I'm throwing footballs at the fucking sky at air.
And then yelling at the sky, why don't you ever catch my pass?
Yeah,
come on, stone hands.
But no answers. So I emailed the this academic advisor or whatever, who's not even in the realm of my graduate degree, just an adjacent one that I saw listed on the site. I'm like, look, can you help me out here? Because I can't get a hold of anybody else. So this person forwarded my email over. And unbeknownst to me, there's a whole email chain that they CC'd me on with my information, like my name on there. Like, oh, this person has been trying to get a hold of you and trying to get a hold of the counselor. We need to help the student out, et cetera, et cetera. They named somebody to get a hold of me. I have yet to hear anything from this person. This was like, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Have yet to hear anything back. So I CC'd all, right? I usually don't do that, and I hate doing this shit, but I did it for
sometimes you got
for a reason. I CC'd all, and I wrote a scathing email saying how the frustrations that I'm experiencing, no student nor veteran using Veterans Readiness and Employment should be experiencing for this potentially veteran-friendly school. I have yet to hear back, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm on the fence about changing schools at this point because I just can't with
Yeah.
this university.
I'm putting in actually 2 applications on the VA website. So my hang up is the VA counselor. I'm not hearing anything from them. And then it's kind of weird, like when you put in for VRNE,
Mhm.
it doesn't like have on the website, it doesn't have like something saying, oh, you submitted on this date. Like I'm not seeing any of that kind of stuff. I
Yeah, I
had
think it's all via emails and when your VRNE counselor gets a hold of you.
yeah, so like I printed out my second application just so I have dates on when I applied and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the first time I applied, I probably applied back in like November, and I
Mhm.
still haven't heard anything, or maybe October. So it's been a while, but I know that they're backed up. And worst comes to worst, I'll use my GI Bill benefits, so I'm still covered. I'm still good.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
playing around with that myself.
yeah,
That's good.
but I would like to use VRNE and then save my GI Bill benefits for maybe a
Right.
doctorate or something.
Yeah, and the good thing about VRNE too is they give you that tech package, right?
Hmm.
So if
Get a
you need a
computer.
computer,
I
printer, if you need a new desk or even a seat or a chair, they
Yeah,
cover all that. So they'll give you all that stuff. There's videos on people receiving like boxes in their house, like at their doorstep, and I'm like, this is incredible. I had no idea that this was a thing.
yeah. I definitely need the computer. My computer is pretty old, and it's not going to handle my coursework for when I go to school.
Yeah, all the research and all that, and I got a
Yeah,
MacBook from 2015, and it's still going, but it's like it's chugging along. So
yeah. Takes a little bit to even log in to watch your videos and get on a live
damn,
stream.
damn,
So yeah, but
yeah. Old
make
Navy cop
do.
has the same thing here.
Yeah,
Finally got
nice.
some follow up, getting back in the BRNE program. New counselor, but no other movement on it yet. Been playing this game for 11 months now myself. I'll tell
Yeah,
you, Navy cop, man, we may be becoming the fools because they're playing around with us, man.
yeah. It's sad. It's a benefit that you earned, but if there's no one there to actually process the benefit or not enough counselors, like
I tell you, man,
you're not getting it.
you're throwing footballs at the air, is what you're doing. You're playing
Exactly.
catch with yourself.
Yeah,
That's what
that
you're
gets
doing.
old real quick.
You're throwing it and
Yeah.
you're running to catch
Uh,
your own ball there.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I don't
Damn.
play football.
I love playing football, but yeah, I don't like throwing it to myself. Unfortunately,
No, no. Well,
I don't run that fast.
no kidding.
Not
But
anymore.
I actually got to get going, man. I got to freaking get
Yeah, man.
ready, meeting a friend for lunch.
Yeah, yeah. Do your thing, man.
Yeah, but good
Good to talk
talking
to you.
with you. Yeah, and
Yeah, you too,
we'll
man.
have to get lunch or coffee sometime soon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll come down your way at some point.
All right.
I'll get a hold of you.
Later, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye.
All right. So that was Brian, aka Gunny. Good dude. Know each other from back in the day. Yeah, lines are open now. If anybody wants to jump on and talk about what you got going on here, I don't know if this the code changes every time I put it on, but so yeah, I've been connecting with a lot of folks on. Let's see, we got a lot of people on LinkedIn. Connecting with a lot of those folks. Let me save this before I mess this thing up. I wrote this whole thing and I don't want to post it yet, so I'll save that. Yeah, I've been connecting with a lot of folks on LinkedIn, on Facebook, folks reaching out to me via email, about connecting. Um, oh God, what is this? I got this dude who sends me messages like every week on every opening. I guess he's a recruiter, every opening around the country. Oh my God. Like I'm scrolling, I'm still not at the end of his of his message. Wow. Got a potentially got a an author coming on who is let me see a Pat Tillman. I'm reading his stuff here. Of course, it wants to take its time now. Yeah, Pat Tillman scholar. He's a storytelling strategist, veteran as well. So looking forward to having this gentleman on here at some point. I already talked to you about that that dude who's running for that Navy SEAL who's running for VFW commander. Looking forward to connecting with this guy. Just sent him a text, seeing when he has available to sit down and just hang out and talk for a little bit. Let me see here. Navy cop, what are you talking about? So, are you saying you don't want to be a construction flagger in the back hills of North Dakota at $12 an hour? No, sir, I do not. I'd rather be a crossing guard at $16 an hour than being in the back hills of North Dakota at $12 an hour, which is actually the thing. They have a lot of positions open around these areas for crossing guards. I guess because nobody wants to get up at like 6 in the morning to start doing that. But I'm already up at that time, so why not? Why not? It's fun. And you get to make sure that kids are safe. Awesome. But yeah, VRE is kind of a pain, man. It's becoming a pain, and I feel like the longer it takes to get into that program, they're going to start switching stuff around with VRE because it is such a good program for folks who want to get their education. That there's no way that they're going to not look at that money and say, hey, maybe start using your GI Bill instead of the VRE, and we're going to take away the VRE. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I've thought about that a lot, and it's a huge pot of money. Knocking on wood. I don't even know if this is wood. Knock on compressed cardboard here. Because it's hopefully it doesn't happen. Let me see. Navy cop, congratulations. On a separate note, just found out Sunday that my stepdaughter is going to make me a first-time grandpa come August. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. That is awesome. It's great, man. Get to to build a family. More kids, and it's fun having kids around. It is. It's the questions I get asked from my kids is it makes me think sometimes like, damn, I raised this kid. Where's this kid getting this question from? But no, that's awesome for you, dude. Congratulations to you and your stepdaughter as well. Very cool. So yeah, let me see. Still drinking my coffee here. Who else has coffee in hand? Who else wants to share their story? To come up on the stage, share the story, and see what's going on with you. I want to shout out to Navy Cop again for that update on HR 4446 that just became law, signed by the president yesterday. Very cool stuff. And I'm wondering now why I didn't get an email on it or get the alert on it, because I get the alert for everything else. So if you go to congress.gov, you can sign up for alerts on all these different pieces of legislation. I'm following a whole lot of them. I don't know why that one didn't get me any kind of notification. But I put out videos on there of all these different laws that I'm following, potential laws, right? They've been introduced. Some are sitting at the House, some have been referred to the Senate or the Veterans Committee. So definitely check that out. Let me see here. And just a little plug for the military retirement group here. If you are not part of the military retirement group, you, my friends, are wrong. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Awesome piece of gear. So this thing right here, if you're on Facebook, I run this group called the Military Retirement Group. You don't have to be retired. You can be a veteran. It doesn't matter how many years you served, right? You see my silly looking mug there. So yeah, who's retiring in 2026, et cetera, et cetera. So jump on the group. I'm the admin on there. I will let you through, provided that you answer all the questions correctly. I got some, it has the socials up there on the top left, top right, trusted sponsors, one of which is Wild Bills, veteran owned franchise opportunities, drinkwildbills.com. Awesome company to work for. They're looking to expand with some franchises. And also Movement Financial, MVMT. That is run by Josh, CPNW, on the chat here. Veteran owned financial planning, movementfinancial.com, mvntfinancial.com. Good dude. He's very knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than I am, and more licensed than I am as well to be able to talk about finances. I know about my finances. I can't tell you about yours. So that's that. The Military Retirement Group on Facebook. I've got, let me see here. I got to add some people on there. Every day I get people who are asking for access on there. This morning I have 6 folks. I just approved 15, I think yesterday or the day before. It just continues to grow, and it's awesome because the more information that we can put out there for the masses, I think the better. So good piece of gear. Good piece of gear. Let me see what other legislations are going on here. Navy Cop, is there any updates to your the Buddy Check project? I want to give a shout out to Navy Cop's Buddy Check project as well. This guy is building an awesome platform for all things veteran knowledge and military knowledge. So good piece of gear. Actually, let me share it on here. Buddy Check project. No, not OnlyFans. Buddy Check project. Let's see. Buddy Check project. There we go. Share the screen. I want to give a shout out to Navy Cops Buddy Check project here. Add that to the stage. Bamsis. There you go. Welcome to the Buddy Check project, supporting veterans through life-saving connections. He said, I try to keep my OnlyFans separate. Now, the question here, Navy Cop, is are you watching it or are you hosting one? Because that makes a difference. All right, so we have resources and support, media and podcasts, projects, heritage, wiki, documentation, a whole lot of stuff on this, man. Good piece of gear. Click on documentation, he says. Okay, documentation. Here we go. Bam, look at that. I like that, man. This looks like the Wounded Warrior type of thing, where they just have like all the bills. Fast Vets Act presented to. I'm so curious on how you do this. Like, does it update automatically, or do you go in there and update it yourself? Let me, of course, it's not showing on the screen. Let me share the actual window here. There we go. Okay, legislation. Yeah. So Yeah. Do you actually update it yourself manually, or does this stuff automatically update through some kind of um, algorithm that you put back there? I'm curious. View all active bills. Fast Vets Act that was signed by the president. Delivering digitally, honoring our heroes. Travel Act. So a lot of these are still with the committee enacted. VA home loan. Yep, good, good stuff. Sir, how you doing? You hear me okay?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
going
hey,
down a
good.
little bit, so I'm getting double.
Oh, no worries, man. So yeah, good piece of gear you got going on here, man. So I love this though, like the active federal legislation. Um, now, does this update automatically for you, or do you have something in the background
Yeah,
that updates it?
I'm getting looping audio on my end.
So if you're watching on two different sites, if you
Oh,
have like you might have to pause the YouTube
there we
if
go.
you're on the live stream.
Yeah, you'd think I work in tech, I'd know this stuff. Yeah,
It
I've
happens to
got
me
YouTube
all the
Live
time, dude.
and everything. So what I'm doing is I use automation, and I've got an API key that I pulled from data.gov, which lets me parse out the uh, the bills and search. And what I originally wanted to do is go through and find all the bills that are Veterans Administration or Armed Services Committee, which turned out to be a nightmare. So basically, I'm manually entering what bills I want to track, and then the idea, and I'm still debugging it at the moment, but the idea is that it goes into it shows all the bills like the FAST Act, for instance. So if you click on the FAST Act, it brings up the when it was introduced, who the sponsors were. It shows the co-sponsors, what committee, uh, the summary, and then it should also down below. It's going to show you the activity history of the bill, so you can
Mm,
kind of see where it's been, what it's been doing, that sort of thing. Um, and then directs you straight out to congress.gov to actually see the bill.
yeah.
Right now, the automation I have, it loops through and populates all the information for the bill, but it's not doing the updates. So I'm having to
Mhm.
create a new automation to do the updates, which I'm going to do this morning. So when it goes through and looks at all the bills, it's going to see if there's any updates, update the date that was last reviewed, and then where it's at. So that should change by this afternoon. This should be fixed so that it shows that the fast vet, good lord, the Fast Vets Act is actually been signed. So
This
once
is awesome, dude.
but
Yeah, I love this, man, because I mean it's very easy to read. I'd rather read it on a dark screen as well, like on a dark background. So I love that you put
yeah,
that dark background there. Um, yeah, it's these are all the ones that I'm following too. So it
yeah.
could
Well, I
just
know I
be
grabbed
as
some
simple
that you
as
were following and put them in there, and then I was looking at a few others and threw them in there as test bills and stuff like that. So I'm still working out a few bugs on bringing some of the bills up, but for the most part, yeah,
yeah, this is good because it tells you the history of it. Um, it's actually a better format than Congress.gov, to be honest. It really is. No, this is good, man. So that dude, I don't know if you ever wanted to, if you're thinking about it, and I'm sure you are about the automatic updates and all that. Um, but like talking to that guy from Ebby Travels, how he
oh yeah,
looks at
yeah.
he does the space A thing, how it automatically updates every 20 minutes. I don't know if you wanted to connect with him if you're still trying to figure out how to do that automatic update. But his is a little bit different for, it goes off of Facebook, I think, or whatever they publish the space safe flights.
Yeah.
It might be a little different than congress.gov.
Well, what
Yeah,
I
but no,
do
good
is
piece of gear.
yeah, what I do is I use an automation system called N8N, which is kind of an AI-based automation system. And it allows me to pull in data from a SQL database, which is what I'm using in the back end, and lets me update and do things like that. Plus, it lets me do website calls. It lets me scrape data from sites, do a bunch of different things. I haven't really gone in depth in what I can do with it, but I'm playing around with it and how it's connected with what I'm doing here.
I like it. I really do, man. So that's you. Have you thought of have you? I'm sure it's crossed your mind, but I want to ask you directly. Have you thought of how you can like monetize this? Because you're doing a whole lot of work here with it, and it looks really good. It really does. And I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather come over here to read the legislation than go straight to Congress.gov. But you also have the link on there if I need to read it directly from Congress.gov to get the reference. Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah, I have. I haven't quite figured out how I want to do it yet. And things are changing up a little bit for me at the moment. I finally got a full-time job that's going to be starting. So I'm not going to be on here as often, but it's AAA is opening up an office in our downtown. So I was able to get a full-time job with them. So, get finances and things back in line.
Hell yeah.
But that'll be 5 days a week, 9:30 to 6. So my availability is going to change up a little bit.
No, that's great, though. That's great. That's exactly what you wanted, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, after 2 years of sitting at home in sweats, putting actual pants on, that's going to be a whole different beast. But, I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. That's good, dude. That's good. And I know what you mean, because I do a lot of work from home, too. Not just like the YouTube stuff. But a lot of times I'm wearing shorts. So if I'm like in a meeting, I'm hoping that they don't ask me to stand up. They never will, right? But like sometimes I don't want to wear, sometimes it's like a little game I play with myself, right? Like, let's see how far I can take this.
Yeah. Been down that road. Yeah. You throw on. Well, I had 2 interviews with them that were both by Zoom, and that's running in the back, throwing on a Henley, brushing the hair, sweats are still on, go through the interview, and apparently said all the right things. So I'll take it.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, wearing a suit and shorts, kind of, you get that old Arnold Schwarzenegger and Twins look, right?
Yep.
That's good, man. Well, I love this, man, and we can definitely throw some ideas around about like monetization and all that, because
well, if you go up to where it says hub, because I changed everything to a hub-based system, it's just easier that way.
Where does it say hub here? Oh, here, hub.
Yeah, right there. And then you go over to media and podcasts, which is the second one.
Yeah.
And then if you go over to books, the books drop down.
Oh, up here. Yeah. Books. Book
Because
club.
I knew we were talking about that, but if you hit browse books, that shows a lot of the books that we've been talking about. I've got a book of the month set up. If you scroll down from there, it goes into other books that we've talked about in the past, or I've seen on other sites, and some of the stuff that I have. Some of the stuff, got a couple of books in there that were written by people I worked with in the military that passed away, and stuff like that. So
you got some good reads on here, man.
Yeah.
Love this one. And where do these ratings come from? Is this like Amazon rating or?
Yeah, I'm just pulling from Amazon.
Okay.
It's just
good stuff.
There's no sense in reinventing the wheel on some of this stuff. So.
Oh, we had this guy on the podcast.
Yeah.
Moonchild.
Yeah, actually, I went and bought the book.
Oh man, I still have it in my Amazon market or Amazon cart. I joked with John the other day that I looked at my Amazon cart and it has $2,000 worth of books in there that I'm not pressing buy now.
Yeah, no.
But Moonchild. Yeah, and And let me look at this book club.
Yeah, so all I've got there right now is just got, and I don't even know if I've got the link set yet. I might, because I know we were talking about it, so it's just something I kind of set in motion, but I haven't really
Yep.
moved on it yet.
So I like this because I just had a talk with another veteran in the last few weeks, maybe, about a book club, right? And I recall doing that with my here. Let me take this off here. I recall doing that with like my Marines when I was young, when I was in the service. We get something off the commandant's reading list, right?
Mhm.
Whatever, Killer Angels or Spartans in America or something like that, Fields of Fire, something to that effect. And we'd all read it together, provided that the library, the base library, had all those books in stock, right? We'd get like 10, 15 copies or whatever. We'd all read it together, and then we'd come back and talk about each chapter, maybe a week later, just a week's time. But I love that idea. And I was thinking about how could we implement this, but like kind of do it online, um, giving everybody buy-in, kind of like, hey, we're going to discuss this. Join us on this date, via this link. We'll talk a little bit about what we have going on. I mean, it could be I'm looking at the site. I'm like, hey, go to Buddy Check Project. We're going to be meeting up there for not a live stream, but a secured kind of. It doesn't have to be published to everybody. It could be published on YouTube, but via the website.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give the website exposure. That'd be cool. But yeah, I would love to get a book club going, man. I would love to.
Yeah, we can always sit and take a look at what options we can play around with. Where you want to host it at. Links out to it and stuff like that. Again, my whole premise on this thing is not to overtake or redo or take away, is to coordinate and work with people, work with other groups and stuff like that to help enhance, because we're here to enhance each other. We're not here to outdo each other.
Oh, absolutely. I've got another book for you to put on your list here. I'm actually gonna. I just talked to this gentleman here. He's a veteran Pat Till scholar, and his co-author is Dr. Turrell, and the guy's name is Ediberto Arambula. And here, let me actually put up the book on here. I'll give him a quick shout out. Where is it? Veteran Stories of Transition and Transformation. 25 personal narratives of military service, higher education, and career success. So just connected with this guy this morning, and we're going to be talking a little bit about getting him on the show, talking about, his service, how he came across this. Because I love that, right? I love stories of service, and everybody's got a different story. Everybody's got a different path. And I just love hearing it. So why not? I'm sure other people out there like it too. Yeah. So that one right there.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, I'll work on throwing that up there.
Cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I have been scanning through the current reading list, the CNO's reading list and stuff like that. So I actually have some books on the list already from that you can actually filter by the CNO reading list or whatever, and it shows just those books. So I've been trying to keep the filtering as
Can you filter it through that?
So if you look through,
can.
So like the 2025 right CNO. Yeah.
Oh, right on. This is probably a good one right here. AI at War. I've heard about this one.
Yep.
Brief Guide to Maritime Strategy. Yeah, there's so many, man. So many good stuff. So many good reads. This one's a good one. I got that sitting up on my shelf. Meditations is a good one. It's a tough read, but Meditations. Skunk Works Battle. There's one, Endurance. I don't think it's on the. his
No,
list,
I
but in
think I've got it in there. You might be able to search under the search.
yeah, Shackleton's
Yeah, I don't know if you have to
voyage.
unclick the filter. You might have to.
Oh yeah, I'll just put
Oh,
all
go to all. Yeah.
endurance. Not yet. Almost. Let me try reloading this thing.
Yeah, these are the bugs I'm looking to work out. So, yeah, not yet. So, yeah, you're talking about Shackleton's journey.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me go back here. Let me try to reload this browse books. There we go. Showing no books. All right, now it's showing nothing.
Oh, that's because you still have endurance up in the filter.
Oh, there we go. BAMS's. See, these are the things I'm working through. I'm trying to fix about myself. Anything you want. Blue Mind. Blue Mind. All right. Yeah. So a lot of good reads on here, man. I really appreciate what you're doing. I see you got this little guy up here. Bam.
Yep.
Look at that.
Who knew?
Who knew, right?
And then the one
awesome
next
stuff,
to it,
dude.
the one next to that, Brandywine.
Yeah.
That's actually was written by Master d'Arms Chief Don Mescal, who I served with over in at Dam Neck Naval Station on the East Coast. We reopened the military police school out there on the East Coast. Served with him for 17 months, came back, and about 2.5 years later, he had written this. It was part of a trilogy he was working on. And then one day, got a notification from one of the first classes I worked with that he had passed away from cancer.
Oh, damn.
So
Yeah.
I had to make sure that I put his book up there.
That's excellent, man. Yeah, it's a tough way to go out, cancer.
Yeah.
There's a, oh, this one's good. I read this one sitting at Barnes & Noble waiting for my wife to make up her mind on what she wants. So that's a good one. There's oh yeah, here we go. Happiest Man on Earth. Great one. There's an author here. Let me grab his book. So this gentleman here is, I worked with him. He was my OIC many, many moons ago. And he's a writer. He's a very deep thinker. He sent me his book. His name is Glenn Hines, right? Welcome to the Machine. And he is a retired colonel. His dad played for, I think it was the Steelers. And he talks a lot about like the concussion protocols and all that. And he links a lot of this stuff to his military service as well. So he was a federal judge in the Marine Corps. And very, very smart guy, very down to earth. Had the pleasure of working with him and for him. So cool dude. Glenn Hines is his name. He has a few books out there. But that's what he does, man. In retirement, he's all about his family and just writing all day. And I'm like, I would love that, but this mind doesn't work like that all the time. Like I got to get rid of everything on my desk if I want to actually write something.
Yeah, I wish my dad had written his with his because he was retired Air Force, but a huge Western historian. I sent you a couple of those pictures of his library, and
it was like a damn museum. That's awesome.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah, he had actually made inroads between the Montanans and the Blackfoot tribe that hadn't been done in decades.
Wow.
And he was such a favorite with the elders that he was actually given 2 Blackfoot names.
That's incredible, man.
Don't know how any of that works, but I know it's
it's quite an honor, it sounds like.
But they apparently they had a ceremony for him after he passed.
Wow.
So
You ever thought about like writing about that?
um,
From what you know about it, at least.
it would be a very short book. I just don't know that much. I wish I knew more, but I go through with genealogy. I go through a lot of his family letters. He wrote family letters weekly
Mhm.
uh, from the time he was in college until just a couple of years before he passed away. So I've got, I think, 15 binders of family letters from Dad alone to work with. Um, and then just a lot of stuff that I picked up when after he passed away. I grabbed a bunch of his stuff just for the genealogy and the family history side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know that I know enough about that stuff. Which in hindsight, well, obviously is 2020. But you know,
Or even connecting with the tribe to see if they have any records of his contributions or the ceremony, any photos, maybe.
yeah, no, I've tried, and I haven't really because the Blackfoot tribe is very, we get to it when we get to it sort of thing. It's not, a
Hmm.
scheduled type, uh, excuse me. It's not like a scheduled type event. It's something that they did.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if there's necessarily a specific record of it. I've tried contacting the Blackfoot Community College. Mom donated 1,500 of his books on Native American studies to them after he passed, and they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't found anything specifically detailing it. But
Well, no, but so the family letters, I find that very interesting,
yeah,
and I'll tell you why. I've heard of something like that before, writing letters to your family. And many years ago, when my kids were very young, I established emails for each of them, and they don't even, I don't know if they even know it exists. I don't really talk about it, but every week, sometimes every month, I'll send out an email to each one of them, right, to that email address, um, in hopes that when they're like 21, maybe, um, or maybe even older, give them the email and the password and be like, look, I've written you letters and uploaded photos on in emails to you. So kind of like going through your childhood all the way into your adulthood. And I guess it's kind of like writing letters, family letters, but more like a modern format with emails.
mhm.
But I do find that fascinating, man, that your father actually did that and left that for your family.
Oh
That's
yeah, no.
amazing.
When he was active duty, I remember sitting in his office and he'd be working on the family letter, and
Mhm.
he'd be typing it out with the um, God, I can't remember the name of it.
Well, like a typewriter.
Yeah, just regular typewriter. But then he'd have the pages all together with uh, the black ink pages in between, so
Mhm.
duplicate all the
Oh,
letters.
the carbon
Yeah,
paper.
the carbons.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he'd do that, and then he moved on to an IBM Selectric, and he'd type up the one letter and save it while he was typing it, and then have it reprint each time until he bought himself a uh, Xerox machine, just a little
Mhm.
home-based copier, and then he'd do one letter and photocopy it out and send it to all the family, his parents, mom's parents, his brother and sister. Yeah, I think he had a couple other people, but yeah, it was the weekly Sunday thing once he retired, and yeah, he
I like
never
that. Yeah.
yeah, he never went to emails or anything like that because he was just he always said that if he had his way, he would be living in a tent or in a teepee on Hart Butte in the middle of the Montana wilderness, where he would never survive. The man had no skills, but but yeah, it was his yeah history and homesteading, and that was his mindset, whether he could do it or not. So he never got into tech whatsoever. Though they granted me the ability to get into it when I was 9. I got my first computer, and I remember typing away and getting yelled at 1 a.m. because we had central air in the house, and my typing would go through the venting into their bedroom.
Oh, really? Okay, through the sound, the vents. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he was never. But and he was a voracious reader. He was always reading 2 and 3 books at a time. And he was very much one to write in the books and underline and highlight and stuff like that. So
that's excellent, man. You got a great example there. Great example.
Yeah, which is why I have so many books, and it takes me a hell of a time to move every time. Go figure.
Yeah. The joys of having a library. I've not acquired that much of a library yet, but I try to downsize it, but I have a certain set of books that I never want to part with.
Yep.
The ones that I've written in. Nobody would want to buy my books at a used bookshop because they're like, I've recently started just like highlighting and just writing in the margins as much as possible, just to remember stuff. And I've been very intrigued by the Ryan Holiday's method of documenting things in his book, putting it away for a week or two, then going back and then writing on the note cards in order to gain information for different chapters of his book. He has like this little card catalog that he uses with note cards. So want to try that out because when I sit down to write a book, like I get through maybe a couple pages of the first chapter and I just either lose interest or don't know where I'm going with it because there's so much to remember. And I've got 10 things going on at one time. So I need to try that out. Yeah, I like the whole margin writing. Yeah.
Yeah, Dad would also write those. I don't know if you remember the old daytimers, the little pocket daytimer books. Yeah, I've got, I think, a small case of those things that he wrote in, which is interesting because his handwriting is absolutely atrocious. And I cannot. I get stuff from his college days, college notebooks, and I cannot read a word. I have to scan that stuff in and try and have AI try and figure out what the hell he was saying. He should have been a doctor. But I always gave him crap about his handwriting. But yeah, having all of that stuff is pretty wild.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I wish that my parents are still alive, but I wish my grandparents would have done something like that. So I knew I got a glimpse into their life a little bit because I simply don't know. Yeah. And it's partly why I do what I do here in capturing all this stuff, either on video or on paper. Not so much typing because I don't like saving stuff in Microsoft Word. I'd rather write it out, which means I accumulate more than I need to in my house.
Yeah, but when you got handwriting like you do, dude.
Hey, it's I've always, I don't know why I've always, I like, when it comes to the journals, I like writing in the cursive. Probably because I like, when I first saw like the Declaration of Independence and these old ways of writing, it kind of like, it stood out to me. Like I really want my stuff, my journals, my legacy, whatever I put on paper to look good. So I kind of practice that cursive, and I've done like calligraphy and stuff like that. I got drawers full of pens, calligraphy pens, fountain pens and stuff. I just find it fun, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, I got a calligraphy set when I visited the Tower of London in the gift shop, and played around with it for a while, but never. It interests me, but nothing that I'm going to follow through with. So, but I appreciate somebody else with the skills for sure.
Yeah. So I used to do a lot of graphic design, Like I went to school for that for a little bit. Not to school, but did a couple semesters of it, and it really interested me. So I got really into like fonts. I got into like the whole design thing. So then I started like doing more calligraphy and all that. Then you got to make a logo, right? One of the assignments was, hey, here's this company. They wanted you to create a logo for them, and then I did like the negative space kind of logo
Mhm.
with some fonts. So all that stuff kind of interests me. I kind of nerd out on that stuff a lot.
Yeah. I don't have the skill set for that at all. Anything involved with art, it's the old Bill Cosby thing. I put two notches and it becomes an ashtray. I just, yeah, for the life of me, I can't. I wish I could. God, I'd
Well,
love.
your website building is something of an art itself. Look at that. I mean, I'm going through it right now. I'm like, I'd rather be on here than again Congress.gov.
Yeah. No, I've added. God, what else have I added in there? I've added a few other things in there. I've got a heritage section. I want to start doing like stories and uh, traditions and
I
stuff
saw
like
that.
that. Yeah, the wiki just for fun. Even though, well, I lost you here. Let me see. There we go. I've got too many tabs open. I'm going all over the place.
So
Yeah, I've
Holly,
got
you've already got people who have submitted to this thing. Let me bring it up to the.
not specifically. So a lot of it, some of it is demo or dummy data that I've got in there that was just generated.
Mhm.
Um, it's AI generated dummy information. The idea
Oh,
is that I wanted to see what pages would look like, what the cards would look like, and stuff like that.
sure.
They, for the most part, I think the AI pulled actual information, but some of the links aren't correct and things like that. So it's something I need to adjust and fix. So I at least have some actual information in there. I've got some family pictures of like I've got an admiral and a lieutenant that both served during World War II, and I've got pictures of them of the lieutenant in his uh, uh, Navy bomber. I've got my grandfather in front of the engineering um, panel on board. I think it was B-24 maybe,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So little things like that, keeping you away from the uh, PII, of course,
Right,
but
right.
just the history of, and then I'm trying to add um, under culture. If you look in the upper menu item there, uh, I got this wild hair about adding like music and art. So
All right.
and those
Well,
those are those are all demo stuff, but I'm getting into sea shanties and stuff from the Napoleonic era and stuff like that, music wise. So I'm
mhm.
going to start pulling some of those in there, and then art wise, it's going to be uh, like uh, paintings and things like that.
I like that. What you got to add on here is here. I'll actually show you here. You got to add Marine Corps hip hop cadence.
I think I
That's
remember you talking about that a while back.
Yeah, that's an actual thing. Like I didn't know that existed. I was in the PX at one point, and then I purchased it, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was like they were in the studio and they were just like there was a beat, dun, 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 left, right, left, right. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But no, I love what you're doing with this, man. Music and art. Um, I love artwork myself. I collect a lot of military artwork. I've done military artwork myself. So
Yeah. Yeah. If you
I
click on
love
the art, I've got a
these
couple
things.
of things in there, not a lot yet. So art actually, yeah, it's the sub.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the Spruance class destroyer was done by a guy back in 1980. He's passed, Carl Evers.
Hmm.
Uh, that's all pencil art, and then
Love that.
some photos and stuff like that. Again, some dummy placeholders while I start. But I'm trying to with the art and music. The biggest thing is making sure I add attribution so that
Right.
I not get myself into an issue. So I've got that added into the table. So when I add art, I can automatically add the attribution.
Okay, contributed
Any
by.
copyrights and stuff like that. So I'm not. I'm just hosting a link to. I'm not hosting the art itself, or the
Yeah.
music itself and stuff like that. But you know,
That's beautiful, man. I love that. And you got the original source on here.
Yeah.
Carl Evers. That's an amazing drawing. It captures a lot of the emotion and the waves crashing against the boat.
yeah,
The
I've got.
helicopter up top.
Yeah, I started looking around for it because I've got a picture that was gifted to me by commander I used to work for in the reserves when they closed down the old Navy Reserve Center in at Bangor Sub Base and moved it down to Portland. Or maybe they moved it to a different place. I was down in Portland, but they had two big art pieces there, and one of them was called Final Approach, and it's a carrier out at sea and an F-14 coming in for a landing, and it's all I believe it was watercolor, but I've got that hanging over my fireplace.
Damn. I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Art talk. Oh, this is. Get out of this one here. Yeah. So a lot of stuff going on with this then.
Yeah.
Curious to see where it's going to go, man. How you can continue to grow it.
It's way too damn much, dude.
Well, I mean, a little bit at a time, right?
Yeah.
A little bit at a time.
Yeah, it's an elephant, and I've barely eaten the trunk. So
I get you, dude. I sometimes get overwhelmed with my own projects, and I have to take a step back and really, really look at where I'm trying to go with this, because the branches continue to grow out of the tree that I'm trying to focus on, and too many branches means nothing gets done.
Yeah,
or as my wife says, I'm doing everything and nothing at the same time.
Oh, I'm living that. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous. But on the flip side, I got done turning in my gear for because local community college I was working security, so I just turned in my gear today. And after I got done with that, I went down to the veterans, the school veterans office, talked to them for a little bit, and I'm going to try and hit up the local. God, what's it called? The Community Military Appreciation Committee that we've got up in our region, is they're a nonprofit, and they also host veteran-based businesses and stuff like that. See if I can't get my name out there and see if I get people that are interested in being hosted on the site. So I've got a fairly extensive list of veteran-based businesses and nonprofits now.
Awesome.
That I think 40 or 50 of each that I've got hosted on the site, and so yeah, trying to build a community of more than just me at the moment.
Yeah, well, I love where it's going, man. Keep up the good work, dude, for real.
So
damn. All right, finish off the coffee real quick. If you can just give me a minute, let me go over there and just get a little refill, and I will be right back.
Okay.
Where's this thing at? Give me a second here. I'll throw this thing on the screen. Oh, what happened to the be right back thing? I wonder.
So I noticed that when you had it up, there was a timer line at the bottom of it. So you may have to look and see if there's a timer on it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. That doesn't give me much time to do anything.
No.
Ah, damn. So good stuff, man. I really like the site, dude, and where it's going. Just got to figure out how to monetize it, man. Because
Yeah.
of course you want to get paid for your time. You know, things that you're and it's I think it's a matter of getting like the sponsorships versus like charging people to use it or whatever. I mean, of course you probably don't want to do that, but the sponsorships I think would be beneficial. Like, hey, we'll put your stuff on here if you know, for a certain monthly fee or whatever.
Yeah, I think for larger groups, the smaller groups I want to stay away from because trying to monetize with them because the whole purpose is to get them exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So so I mean the thoughts have been there, but exactly how I want to do it or how to approach it, I mean this is all new to me. So yeah.
Well, it's going somewhere.
Yeah, it just builds on the massive amount of business acumen I already have, which is zero, really, at this point. So I need to figure that stuff out.
Well, I mean, you're in the right place to connect with folks, right? I mean, other people have done it. I'm currently in the process of learning how to do it all because though I've done business stuff in the past, kind of doing it online and building something is a little bit different than what I've done before. So it's a work in progress, and it leads you down these little rabbit holes, and you start learning things about LLCs and nonprofits and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what's up? Hey, I want to say real quick, congratulations on soon to be becoming a grandfather.
I know. Who knew? At a young age of 57. So,
hey, well, you know what? I mean, it's happening, and you know, I'm happy for you and happy for the family.
Yep.
And you just found out about it on Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. She and her boyfriend, I think they're getting married at some point. I mean, I'm older, but I know it's not a requirement these days, but I know they will. But they came down because they live up in near Seattle, in Bellevue, and they came down to visit family and stuff like that. And came by and gave me a Christmas card, and opened up the Christmas card, and it said, "Merry Christmas. This isn't the only thing late from 2025."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I texted the ex, and I was like, "So, what do you think about this?" And she texts back. She says, "Are you kidding me?" She says, "I've been holding this information for 2 weeks because they're still trying to get all the family in it." She said, "I'm over the moon." So,
oh, that's awesome, man! Congratulations. Is that your only kid?
No, so that's my stepdaughter from my last marriage, and
sure.
We're still close. Her dad has kind of taken himself out of the situation. It's a weird
dynamic
thing, and so if he makes contact, great. If he doesn't, I will always be there. But I have 2 youngers with my ex, and my youngest is 24. He's 24-year-old son, 25-year-old daughter, and then I've got a 30-some-year-old son from my first marriage, and he's had a rough life up to this point. So we've kind of been in and out of contact and stuff. So the things that divorce does. So
yeah, I can imagine, man. I've got a lot of friends who are divorced or have been divorced, and they tell me a little bit about it. I mean, what they want to share. They tell me some stories about it. So it was always, when I was in uniform, the counseling that I would always get was it's cheaper to keep her, is what they would tell me. It's cheaper to keep her. So
Yeah, my bank would wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
oh no. Damn.
So yeah,
Yeah, I get it, man.
yeah, no, my first was a casualty of the military. In fact, the ship I have up on screen, that was my first ship, USS Camden, uh, decommissioned in 2007.
Hmm.
Is and it was actually, I believe, a year older than me. It was commissioned. I think it was commissioned in '67. I was born '68.
Wow.
And yeah, that was the first ship. That was actually a fun ship. But yeah, then the second marriage was kind of a collaboration of all sorts of issues, and it just didn't work out. Thought it was working out. Apparently, I was the only one who thought it was working out. So,
Wow.
but yeah, but that dissolved 15 years ago. So,
So
yep.
now you're here,
Now I'm
starting
here,
this life.
hanging out with you
Gotta
people,
start.
for God's sake.
Yeah, hanging out with us, about to start a full-time job.
Yep.
About to be a grandpa. Sounds like things are okay now.
Well, if I can get things squared away and get myself moved over to Idaho, I think that's the next be all end all for me. I think I can get myself over there. That's going to be the long term.
Idaho.
Yeah,
That's where you wanna
Washington's
be.
getting just too weird. West Coast in and of itself is getting a little too weird for me. And
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Being here on the West Coast, yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I enjoy
thing is-
visiting San Diego for sure. We pull in all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And,
it's great out here, right? For
Yeah.
like the weather right now is a little gloomy, right? It's a little bit overcast. I'd say, dare I say, it's a little colder than normal. What are we at right now? We're at about in the 60s. So yeah, it's cold though. I mean, I wore a jacket out to go walk the dog this morning.
Yeah, it's
So-
32 here, so let's not even discuss.
Yeah.
But at least it's clear and we got it's full sun. So, but yeah, no, it's better right now, which we don't necessarily get that often. We get a few days here and there in January, February, but for the most part, we stay in the 40s. Especially with the rain, actually warms it up a little bit. But,
Really?
Yeah, but that because you get the cloud cover and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the greenhouse effect. But it's the trade-off of getting that little bit warmer with gray, and it just gets depressing. So it's that trade-off. Do you want it warm and depressed? Do you want it cold and, oh my God, at least there's the sun?
So I was playing around with the idea of moving to Washington State years ago when I was about to retire.
Mhm.
We were looking at different locations. Virginia was up there. Staying put here in California was on the table. Florida, where I grew up, and then Washington State, because I just knew people out there, right?
Yep.
So I had a friend who was looking at moving to Silverdale. I think it was Silverdale.
Yep. Yeah, Silverdale up near Bremerton, where the naval station is at.
Yeah, and he actually moved over to what's the name? It's like they have a like a Dutch area up there somewhere.
Are you talking about like Leavenworth?
No. Is it Poolsbo?
Yeah, Poulsbo. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's been 15
so-
years since I've been up there, so I've forgotten some of that stuff. But yeah, Poulsbo's a nice place.
Yeah, so he ended up moving up there. And he, we got to talking. He's like, dude, why don't you take a look at this area? It's pretty nice. And so I looked at it, talked to the wife about it. She ended up getting a job here. So we kind of stayed put here.
Yeah.
But it's always been in the back of my mind, like, what if we would have moved up there? What if? And then again, I talked to folks and they're like, oh, can you deal with the weather up in Washington? And I'm like, how bad could it be, right? And then they're talking about. I was doing some research, and there was stuff on these specialized lights that people get
Hmm.
to mimic the sunshine. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like that.
Yeah,
What?
we get it's called seasonal. I mean, it's something that you get in different places. They've classified it as seasonal affective disorder, which is SAD, sad. That means everybody's sad.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's the lack of vitamin D, because you're, even when you're going outside, the overcast, the gray overcast that you get through most of the fall, winter, and into the spring,
Right.
uh, causes it really affects people up in this area. And so we've got a higher instance of issues with people doing things and stuff like that. And so yeah, so there's light boxes, red light therapy and light box therapy and stuff like that that people use to get that sunlight, or that multispectrum light that is supposed to at least try and stave off some of that, along with enhanced vitamin D supplements and things like that. But you're talking west of the Cascades. So when you look at west of the Cascades, you're looking from the Cascade Mountains through the coast, and the Cascades hold a lot of that cloudy weather that comes through, that rain and cloudy weather, which is why we're so, like I say, we're more mild than if you go east of the Cascades. And
Mhm.
then you're talking about getting, snow. You're talking about getting single digit, double digit, single digit temperatures, wind chill, things. The stuff that I grew up with in Montana. Um, but so it's a trade off. We're also evergreen, on this side of the thing.
Yeah.
So when you look at nature and you look at like the waterfalls, we have 200 waterfalls in this region alone.
Yeah.
Uh, and
See, I love that. That like the natural beauty is
Yeah,
what I
all
love.
of that stuff. It's But then when you have to sit down and look at what's the government doing, highest tax increases in 50 years, 40 years, something like that,
Yeah.
tripling the payroll tax, um, looking at adding an income tax to high level earners, which is actually unconstitutional by state constitution. It's written in the state constitution
Mm.
that we're not going to institute a an income tax, but they're trying to find ways around it. Um,
Yeah.
and so it's give and take. I mean, you get the same give and take in California. California. I mean, we pulled an aircraft carrier into Santa Barbara, for God's sake, um, and Santa Barbara. Just freaking love that place down there, and
Yeah. It's nice.
and San Diego, and the zoo and all that stuff out there, and the beaches and all of that. But then it's what's the government doing to the people? Are they able to even survive? And we're finding some issues with livability up here now because of the stuff that they're implementing. So
Yeah. I
you
get
know,
it. I
while
get it.
people don't necessarily want to leave, there are a lot of people that are going to have to because they just can't afford it anymore. We're getting priced out. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that because even here, I got a notice from San Diego Gas and Electric, the electric, the company,
you know,
saying for whatever reason, just because it's 2026, your electric is going to go up $27 and your gas is going to go up, $15. It didn't explain why, just because
it's
it's
the
20.
carbon taxes. It's the green bills that
Mm,
selling carbon
yeah,
emission, however all that stuff works. Because
yeah,
we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing electric could double. If you're paying 100, you could be paying 200, 250. Because of the carbon taxes and all that stuff that they're implementing on top, which isn't actually even doing anything. But that's a whole other conversation, and I
mhm,
don't know
yeah,
enough about it to speak on it effectively, but I know that a lot of it is around that. So I try and listen to as much of that stuff as I can before I absolutely lose my mind and get angry and have to walk. So, but yeah, no, if they price this out, I mean, what else are you going to do? And I
Yeah.
know they're not. I mean, every place has its issues, but it's going to be a matter of crossing state lines, whether it's Idaho or somewhere else. Idaho is on the mind right now because it keeps me close to my kids, keeps me close to Montana. Montana is way overpriced right now. It's
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
yeah,
I've looked at a couple places.
yeah. The
Yeah, we
locals are
were.
being priced out of property out there just ridiculously, and
Yeah,
so
I've seen that. So we were looking at getting like I was looking at some land, right? Land and maybe building maybe having a small home on a big plot of land somewhere.
mhm,
I've never been to the Midwest. I mean, I've been to Chicago. I don't know if just the city, right?
right,
But I've never been out to like Montana or Wyoming or anything like that. But it interested me, like getting a plot of land, building something out there, and having a place to go that is not that expensive. But then I looked at like Montana, I'm like, holy crap, this is really expensive out there. Like, what about, let's look at Wyoming, let's look at these other places, right? I have a friend of mine, retired lieutenant colonel, who lives out in Nebraska, huge place. Didn't pay much for it back then when he got it, but now it's like things are going up. He lives near a main city out there.
yeah,
So I mean, we're playing around with it just because I'd like to have something that's not like, we have a smaller area of land here. I mean, anywhere in San Diego is going to be like kind of tiny, right, compared to what you get out in the Midwest. So we're looking
yeah.
around.
Well,
I'm
the big
noticing the
thing is
prices
that,
going up.
yeah, Montana just doesn't have the economy.
Yeah.
Big business just doesn't go to Montana, and which
Mhm.
is good and bad.
Not yet.
Yeah. But so you're talking about, like people from San Francisco that are selling, their one bedroom, 250 square foot apartments for $1.5 million and moving out and buying, you know, 30, 40 acres with a massive house in Montana and still have money left over. So they
Mhm.
don't have to have that job,
Yeah.
or they're doing something online. So that's where your money is coming in is these people that are, remote workers or online workers, or, are selling, property and houses down in California, making, major amount of money on it, and then coming up to an
Mhm.
economy that doesn't support it and buying up the property, which artificially drives up the costs of everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
the
can see that.
jobs aren't, jumping to, compensate people for the fact that property prices are going through the roof.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're running to in Montana for the most part.
Yeah. And it's not just like that in the US too. I found that when I went to, I mentioned it here a few months ago. I went out to Guatemala, and the driver I had, we went over to see like the volcanoes and all that. And I sat next to the driver. I speak fluent Spanish. We were just talking, having a good time. We're talking about what his life is like, the American dream versus what Guatemalans look forward to, and all that. Had a good time talking to him, and we got into the conversation of real estate, and he mentioned that he lives in a 12-bedroom home that his grandfather built, and the total cost of that house was something in the neighborhood of $500, like US dollars, for that house, right? It was like a compound, right? You kind of like Central American homes, right? You have like the facade, a wall, you open it up and it opens up to a courtyard. You pass that courtyard, then you have like rooms on the outset, right? On the perimeter of the house. And I'm like, $500. And like, I'm like, dude, I mean, this was in Antigua, which is like a main tourist hub out there. And I go, hey, I was looking on not Zillow, but like whatever their version of it is out there. And these houses are like nice ones that are built up on the outskirts of the city are damn near like $1 million US dollars, like 500,000, 800,000 like US dollars. He's like, yeah, it's crazy how like a lot of Israeli investors, Japanese, Chinese investors come in, they buy up these houses just because they can, right? Oh, they just kind of outbid everybody else. So everybody's going to get priced out of that. So I've seen firsthand how that works out too, because the guy was like, yeah, his neighbors are like, they just bought it cash, and then that his property value just skyrocketed after that.
Yeah,
It's crazy how that works, man.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And then you understand the laws that they're trying to pass about international investors and things like that. But while that may solve some issues, it doesn't necessarily solve other issues where one particular location in the States is providing people with a massive amount of money that they then flow into other areas of the States. Yeah, no, it's a whole financial conversation that's well out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you get your place in Idaho, and are you looking at like a house, a condo? What are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at a house minimum 5 acres because go big or go home at this point. I would love to be able to. It's the would love to be able to get up in the morning, grab my coffee, walk out on the back porch, shoot my guns, for a few minutes, come back inside, sit down, watch TV.
That sounds like a good life.
Yeah.
Just make sure you know what's beyond those
Oh,
5
absolutely.
acres.
Oh no, I'll build up my berm. I'm there, man.
Don't be like that dude in I forgot where he was. He was on the news.
Gosh.
He shot his gun
Yeah.
in the backyard, and it shot a lady like 5 blocks down. Oh God.
Yeah, no, because
Terrible.
responsibility and common sense are both in short supply.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. I hope everything works out, dude, because it is it's getting a little crazy out there, and having your own piece of land and being away from huge crowds is definitely where it's at, I think.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely down that road. So
Yeah. Well, good, man. Buddy Check Project. Check out Steve at buddycheckproject.com. And we got who are we talking? Oh, I was talking to Brian, aka Gunny, on here. Somebody had mentioned I need some new Go Fasters. Cool. Random comment, but cool. I like that. New Go Fasters. I'm done buying shoes, man, for right now. I don't need anything else. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I got garbage bags that I got to send out to Goodwill because I just don't want all this stuff in my house. I purposely bought a smaller place so we wouldn't have to bring that much stuff over here.
Yeah, it's good in theory, but not in actual reality. At least for me, I know I have to buy some clothes because Well,
you got the new job now.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I bought clothes. So here I'm, sweatshirt. It's like now I have to, it's business casual, so it's not like suits or anything like that.
Yeah, polo shirt will be fine. Polo shirt and some khakis.
Yeah, but dude, I put on a couple of pounds. I got to work on that.
Well, that perfect time to work out, dude, and kind of get that accountability piece going.
Yep.
I found myself kind of struggling with that a little bit myself, and I just kind of had to kick my own ass into gear and just do it. Nobody else is going to do it for me.
Yeah. Thankfully, if I'm at work at 9, I think 9 or 9:30, that gives me, and I'm up normally at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. So that gives me time to actually, put my ass in gear and actually get on the bike that is sitting in the living room, lonely. It's so lonely.
Lonely. Has your bike become like my treadmill, where it's become like a clothes hanger?
I have not allowed that to happen. So that at least hasn't happened, but it still sits there and it's all pristine and it's looking at me, and it just, it kind of side eyes me as I walk past it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to get, man, if anything, just to live long enough, just to reap the rewards that you have. I know you're just a few years away from your actual retirement. I think you mentioned. So yeah, you want to make sure you're healthy enough to enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. 60 when I can start actually getting my military retirement.
Yeah.
And
That's right around the corner, man. You're what, 56, 58,
57.
52, 57? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take 52,
Right.
but yeah, no, I'm 57.
All right, right on, man. Well, you're right there, dude, and be young enough to enjoy it. Shit, 60 is the new 15, you know?
Or 20. I'll go with 20. My lower back would kind of argue about the 15, but
yeah, I agree myself too. So good stuff, man. Well, I hope everything works out, dude. I mean, you're always welcome on the channel. Looking forward to what you got going on with Buddy Check Project and
and if,
everybody in the comments.
Yeah,
What's
if
up?
you or anybody is looking at it and you see any issues or anything like that, let me know. I take all comments. You know,
Let me put it up on
the idea is just to make it better, make it useful.
I'll put it up in the comments. BuddyCheckProject.com.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, good having you, Steve.
All right, man. I will talk to you.
Take it easy, buddy. Yeah, that was Steve, aka Navy Cop, with BuddyCheckProject.com. Awesome stuff that he's doing. Looking forward to see where it's going to go here in the near future. BuddyCheckProject.com. Let's see here. With that, I think I might cut the live stream a little short today. Usually I go for like 3 hours. It's fun. It's exciting. A lot of good information. It's just I'm excited to start doing some videos on this HR 4446 and what else do I have going on? Oh yeah, this other dude who is that Archbishop. I'm excited to do some videos, and I gotta get some breakfast in my body because I'm living off of coffee right now, and it's not always a good thing. So it can be a good thing, not always, but good stuff. Thank you all for joining me. Check out the Military Retirement Group on Facebook if you haven't already done so. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It's always good to connect with fellow veterans out here. If you have anything, if you want to connect, if you maybe know a nonprofit or maybe an organization, veteran-focused organization that wants to connect with the Green Logbook or Military Retirement Podcast, please make sure you email me at thegreenlogbook@gmail.com, and I'll make sure I'll get back to you. It may not be ASAP, but I'll get back to you. With that, join me on Sunday. Sunday, I do the live stream on the Military Retirement Podcast. You can watch it from the Green Logbook channel. That's fine. I stream it to all these channels. But it'll be me and my co-host John over in Italy. He's a retired Army Chief Warrant Officer. And we just go over veteran topics and things that are going on in the community. So thank you all for joining me, and thanks for watching the Green Logbook out here.